Navigating today's global tax landscape, well, it can feel like you're trying to sail a ship in a massive storm. The rules are always changing, the risks are incredibly high, and finding any kind of certainty feels almost impossible. But what if there was a way to not just survive this complexity, but to actually get it under control? That's exactly what we're diving into today, the Tax Control Framework, or TCF. Let's break down how it really works.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the absolute basics, what a TCF even is. Then we'll get into why it matters so much right now. We'll look at how it's being adopted all over the world, peek under the hood at its key parts, and finally, see how it's completely changing the game for corporate tax.
All right, first things first. Before we can really appreciate what a tax control framework can do, we have to be on the same page about what it is we're actually talking about.
It's a term you're probably hearing more and more, especially in finance circles. But what does it really mean when you strip away all the jargon?
You know, the official definition from the OECD really nails it. A TCF isn't just about paying taxes on time. It's a proactive system. It's a process you build inside your company to make sure that your tax reports are not just accurate, but also comprehensive. Totally complete. Really, it's about making a huge shift from just reacting to tax problems to actually controlling them from the start.
Okay, so now that we know what it is, let's talk about the why. Why are so many companies pouring time and money into building these things? What problems are they actually trying to solve? The world we operate in today is this ridiculously complex web of different economies, and the tax rules are in a constant state of flux. Seriously, for any big company, just trying to stay compliant is a massive challenge. And in a world where everything feels so uncertain, well, certainty becomes one of the most valuable things you can possibly have.
In this right here, this crystallizes all the pressure points. You've got these constant tax reforms that create confusion, which of course leads to a higher risk of tax disputes. And then there's this problem of asymmetric information. That's just a fancy way of saying the tax authorities have no idea what's going on inside your company. A really solid, comprehensive TCF is designed to tackle every single one of these issues.
So, at the end of the day, a TCF becomes this incredible tool for communication and for building trust. It's a way for a company to basically show its hand and say, look, here's our system, this is how we make sure we get things right, this is how we spot risks, and this is our process for fixing mistakes when they happen. That level of transparency just changes the entire conversation. And make no mistake, this is not just some theory rattling around. It is a very real and very rapidly growing global trend. Businesses and tax authorities all over the planet are starting to see just how valuable this is.
This map really says it all, doesn't it? You can just see how the idea of tax control frameworks and the cooperative programs that go along with them is spreading like wildfire across the globe. From North America to Asia to Australia, it's pretty clear this is becoming the new gold standard for tax governance.
And here's an even closer look at who's on board. We're talking about major economic hubs, the US, China, all across Europe. When you see a list this long and this influential, you know it's not just a fad. It's a fundamental shift in how global tax is being handled.
So let's switch gears and get into the how. How do you actually build one of these? What are the core components that make up a TCF that's both robust and, actually works?
A really great way to think about it is like a GPS for your company's tax department. It helps you see exactly where you are. It charts the best and safest route to your destination, which is full compliance, and it gives you those proactive warnings about potential hazards or risks you might encounter along the way.
This slide lays out the architecture perfectly. A truly comprehensive framework is built on these 6 pillars. It all starts at the top, with a clear strategy. From there, you assign clear responsibilities and make sure the framework is applied across the entire organization. Then you layer on strong governance, perform regular testing, and finally, you provide assurance that the whole thing works. Every single piece is vital. So, this brings us to the big payoff. What's the ultimate result of putting a TCF in place? Well, it's about way more than just internal controls. It's about completely transforming the relationship a company has with the tax authorities. What's really going on here is that the TCF becomes the bedrock for a whole new way of doing things. This new model is called cooperative compliance, and believe me, it is a total game changer. You can see the difference right here, and it is night and day. The old way was all about enforcement. You file your taxes, and then maybe years down the line, you get hit with an audit. It's adversarial by nature. The new world, this cooperative compliance model, is, well, it's collaborative. It's built on a foundation of transparency and trust, which lets you solve problems in real time
instead of fighting about them years later.
At the end of the day, a TCF is a strategic asset. It's not just a tax thing. It's a cornerstone of good corporate governance. It protects a company's reputation. And, importantly, it takes tax out of the back office and puts it where it belongs, as part of a critical boardroom-level discussion. It really is a comprehensive approach to managing one of the biggest risks any modern business faces.
And that really leaves us with one final and I think crucial question to think about. This whole shift we've been discussing is about moving from seeing tax as just a passive chore to seeing it as an active, strategic function. So it's worth asking yourself, where does your organization fall on that spectrum? Is tax just a bill you have to pay, or is it a core part of your strategic control system?